Good day to you all, and welcome to yet another episode on She Rises, She Falls. My name is Angela, your host, and we are going to delve into a topic revolving around friendships today. What happens when friendships end without a fight? Many of us have friends that are there for reasons, for seasons, and for lifetimes. And sometimes these friendships come to an end, what we call a quiet ending. Then there's no argument, there's no betrayal, it's just distance. Not all friendships end with betrayal, some just fade away. Some friendships don't explode, they evaporate. There's no dramatic fallout, there are no harsh words, there's no final confrontation. And what you see is slower replies on when you message them or DM them, or canceled plans when you invite them over. Somehow the energy shifts. And because nothing bad has happened, it can feel illegitimate to grieve. But quiet endings can hurt just as deeply, just as much as loud ones. And especially where friendships were so deep that you felt they are for a lifetime. Sometimes it hurts even more because you're left without a clear reason. Now, the moment you realize it's over is something that comes to you with a shock, but you notice it's been happening over time. You stopped reaching out to them, or they stopped trying. Somehow between you two, you find that someone you used to talk to every day is now not talking to you for months on end. Silence has become normal. And there's that quiet moment when you realize you're the only one still holding the friendship together. You're the one initiating, you're the one who makes the phone calls, you're the one who's checking in, you're the one who keeps the thread alive. Then one day you don't send the message, you wait, and nothing comes. Then it hits you that this person is either avoiding me or has moved on. And when it hits, it doesn't hit with anger, it doesn't hit you with drama. It's that heavy understanding that if I don't hold this, it falls. That if you're not the glue with the friendship, it's going to collapse. And maybe it already has. That realization hurts in a very, very private way because it forces you to admit something you were hoping wasn't true. You were caring louder than they were, if we could put it that way. Now, of course, when this happens, it's an end that you think is not only painful, but you wonder if it's going to harm you. And your core is practically vibrating. But friendships often end not because of harm or violence, but because of change. One of you has evolved. One of you grows in a different direction. One of you is healing, and the other one stays the same or worsens. Or simply, it could be that life rearranges priorities. You may be concentrating more on your family, your career may have shifted, and you may have formed other relationships as well. You could have changed where you live, your geography has changed. Your energy starts reallocating itself to other needs. And it's not an announced change, it just happens. But you're left wondering, was it something I did? Did I miss a sign? Should I have fought harder? Sometimes there's nothing to fight. And you have to accept that these friendships have ended because at that point, it's not something you're going to really get someone to understand. So you have to start grieving it. You have to grieve someone who's still alive. It's an ambiguous loss. There's no closure. There are lingering questions. You're asking yourself what happened. This kind of loss is confusing because the person still exists. They're still posting. You can see them on their socials. They're still living. They're still reachable. And that's what makes it complicated. There's no funeral, no ritual, no official ending. Psychologists call this ambiguous loss, when something is gone but not fully gone. You're grieving the version of the relationship that no longer exists. And that grief deserves acknowledgement. Now, you may have the temptation to blame yourself. You may overanalyze it. You may replay scenarios to see where you went wrong. You're going to self-question. And when there's no clear ending, your mind still searches for that one reason to understand. You replay conversations in your head. You reread messages. You dissect your tone. Did I speak right the last time we spoke? You start adjusting your personality in hindsight. But not all endings are caused by mistakes. Sometimes they are caused by timing, sometimes by capacity, and sometimes by incompatibility that neither of you knew how to name. You can release yourself from inventing guilt just to create this clarity. Miss them without wanting them back. You can say, I miss who we were. I don't miss how it felt, but I miss who we were, right? Both can be true. You could also miss how it felt. Sometimes we don't miss the friendship as it was at the end. We miss who we were inside it. The inside jokes, the versions that you laughed at together, what made it easier for you, the comfort of shared history. But when you really sit with it, you might also remember the imbalance, the effort you put in, the effort gap, the subtle distance that was there but not spoken about. And it's possible to miss someone deeply and still know they no longer fit in your life. That's a mature kind of grief. You're not wishing them harm. You're not trying to force reconnection. You're just honoring what it meant while you're accepting what it is now. And that's not cold, that's growth. So make peace with quiet exits. Not every bond is permanent. The seasons we live in are real. Some are short, some are long, but they are real. So we have to learn to let go with dignity. Some friendships are for specific chapters. Some friendships were for childhood. Some friendships were specific to single years. Others were specific to career building seasons. Then we have friendships that were for healing reasons. And those are the seasons of healing. And when the chapter changes, the connection can weaken. That does not make it fake. It makes it seasonal. Making peace doesn't mean pretending it did not matter. It means honoring what it was without demanding that it continue forever. Because not every meaningful connection is meant to be lifelong. So open space for reciprocal connection. Release, reflect, rebuild. And when a friendship ends quietly, it will leave space. At first, that space will feel like absence, but eventually it becomes availability. Availability for connections that are mutual, availability for connections that flow. Your energy that you had with that friend will be returned in a different form with different people, but it will be returned. Get into the mode of letting go of someone who no longer shows up, someone who no longer creates room. Let go of people who are no longer there for you and leave space for someone who will. You don't have to chase consistency. You can align with it. So some endings do not need noise. Not all exits are loud. Not all love is forever. Not all loss is failure. Not every ending needs a confrontation. Not every friendship needs a final speech. So some connections will simply complete their course. And the most powerful thing you can do is to let them end without making those friends turn into enemies. You can appreciate what it gave you. You can grieve it as it was. And you can also release what it became. Quiet endings are not proof that you were not enough. People evolve, seasons shift. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to allow the distance to exist without chasing it. You are not losing people, you are aligning. And alignment often begins with letting go, but learn to let go gently. So don't take it too badly or too hard that you lost those friends. Yes, you did. And it wasn't something you're proud of, but relish the moments you had with these people. If you'd like a clarity call or an empathic listening session, please contact us on the email in the description box. Like, share, subscribe. We'll leave it at that today. And hopefully you can join us on other sessions as we delve into these discussions that we want help on, but don't necessarily have people who can talk us through. Have a pleasant day, and I'll see you on the